Welcome to Bayanat, the heartbeat of tech in MENA. We bring you raw stories and sharp insights from the founders, investors, and leaders building the region's startup ecosystem. Today we're diving deep into the incredible journey of Wasim Kari, Elsa Ahoun, and Philip Risk. They're the co-founders of Parallel Health and Beauty Holding.
A company that's really become a powerhouse in the MENA region quite rapidly, too.
Absolutely. And our mission today is to unpack how they did it, how they navigated Lebanon's, devastating economic collapse, merged multiple different startups into one holding company. And get this, during that same time, they grew revenue from $1 million up to $6 million.
Wow. And became profitable. That's the kicker.
Exactly. So if you're a founder, an investor, anyone in the business world listening, this story is more than just interesting. It's a masterclass, really.
Definitely. Bold pivots, serious operational discipline.
And spotting those market gaps, right, turning them into real growth.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into it. So it all kicked off way back in 2005. Wasim Kari's journey started as a class project, actually, at HEC Paris.
Right.
He teamed up with Elsa Aoun, and their first venture was Unusa, a digital Arabic language magazine for women.
And their choices early on were pretty smart. They picked the female segment. Why? Strong advertiser demand.
Makes sense. And they kept the content quite broad, fashion, travel, everything. Maximize that reach.
They were essentially bootstrapping it from the start.
What's really fascinating, though, is how they saw that initial opportunity.
Yeah, I think Wasim and Elsa spotted something crucial. Social media was exploding across MENA back then, but there was this real lack of good local Arabic digital content. So they jumped in, used those social platforms for distribution.
So they were early movers.
Very early. It really shows a strategic foresight, seeing where the digital landscape was heading.
And it worked. By 2010, people were coming to them. Advertisers wanted placement on Anusa.
Right. That's the validation.
So that's when they formally incorporated, built a proper business around that demand, and the momentum just kept building. In 2013, Elsa went full-time.
Driving the growth of Unusa.
Yeah. And with that success, they thought, okay, we can replicate this. So they launched Sahadi.
The digital health magazine.
Exactly. And then Lulia, targeting younger women, under 25s, with more video.
Now, if you look at the bigger picture here, it wasn't just like throwing brands out there randomly.
Right.
Unusa, Sahadi, Lulia, different audiences, sure, but they shared capabilities, content creation, SEO, monetization.
Ah, okay. So operational synergies.
Powerful ones. Even if it wasn't some grand plan from day one, it just evolved opportunity by opportunity. And that proven model, that growing audience, that's what caught the eye of VCs.
Like IM funding.
Exactly. They saw something scalable there.
Okay, so now things get really interesting. Fast forward to 2017. Wasim and Elsa team up with Philip Risk, childhood friend of Wasim's.
And he wasn't just anyone, right? He was heading up a major dermocosmetics company in the Middle East.
Right. So experience in the beauty sector. And together, they spotted another huge opportunity. But it came from disruption.
Yeah, the whole digital advertising model was getting shaken up. Google, Facebook. They arrive in Dubai, and suddenly, traditional media revenue. It's getting squeezed.
But Wasim saw opportunity in that decline.
Which raises that classic question, right? Your core market shifts. What do you do? How do you pivot?
So what was their answer?
Well, Wasim realized, look, we have this massive audience, mostly women, and our advertisers, they're beauty brands.
Okay.
And at the same time, e-commerce in beauty in MENA was tiny, like under 1%.
Wow, really that low?
Yeah. So those same beauty brands, they started pushing for ways to sell online, transactional models. For Parallel, it wasn't a crazy leap.
It was almost logical.
A very logical evolution. They already knew how to get people interested.
So that led them to launch Lulia Closet, the beauty e-commerce site.
Right. And so Sahadi Care, the online parapharmacy.
But entering e-commerce, it's crowded. What was their edge?
This is the really clever part. Their approach was kind of backwards compared to most e-commerce startups.
I thought so.
Most start with the operations, right? Inventory, suppliers, logistics. Get that sorted, then find customers.
Yeah, that sounds typical.
And Parallel did the opposite. Because of their media background, they already had the audience. They had the content skills, the storytelling, the influencer marketing down.
They knew how to create demand.
Exactly. Their challenge was the other stuff, the logistics, the inventory, fulfillment, and they built that capability in-house.
So that combination, media power plus e-commerce operations,
made them uniquely valuable to the big cosmetics brands. They could talk to both the marketing and the sales teams in those companies, which often don't talk to each other.
bridging that internal gap for the brands.
Precisely. It built really deep relationships. They weren't just resellers, they became strategic partners.
And Tomu Awad from IM Funding even commented on this, right?
Yeah, he said, and I'm paraphrasing slightly, that what stood out was how the different startups complemented each other, creating these strong synergies. He really highlighted the founders' ability to add new lines of business while keeping focused.
Shows the strength of that integrated model they built.
Absolutely.
Okay, so things are looking good. They've pivoted. They're growing. Then 2019 hits.
Yeah. Lebanon's economic collapse. Just a devastating turn.
For everyone, but especially businesses operating there. VCs stopped investing. Currency devaluation. Just chaos.
Complete operational nightmare. It really forces that question again. Faced with that level of crisis, how do you even survive, let alone strengthen and grow?
What was their move?
It was bold. They decided to consolidate everything, all the shareholders from the different ventures.
Unusa, Sohadi, Lulia Closet.
Right. All under one single cap table. They merged it all into a new holding company, Parallel Health and Beauty.
Why was that so important?
It protected everyone's investment value. It stopped a situation where, say, they might have had to sacrifice one startup just to keep another alive.
Makes sense. Unified front.
Exactly. And crucially, they also moved the holding structure outside Lebanon.
To reassure investors.
Reassure investors, make future funding rounds simpler. It was a smart, albeit difficult, move. Required a lot of trust.
And Antoun Muawad from IM Funding, he praised that move, didn't he? Called it smart and proactive.
He did. He noted they did it before the crisis fully hit, which showed incredible foresight and resilience. It clearly deepened IM Funding's belief in them.
So much so that they didn't just convert their old investment.
No, they actually invested again during the crisis through their Save Our Startups fund.
That's a huge vote of confidence.
It absolutely is. It speaks volumes about their faith in Wasim and the team.
So after all that turmoil, consolidation, crisis, where does Parallel stand today? What do the operations look like?
Well, despite everything, they pulled off that unification of the back office. Tech, finance, HR, accounting, all standardized across media and e-commerce.
That must have driven massive efficiencies.
Huge efficiencies. And that discipline, that streamlining, it fueled incredible growth, paradoxically. Revenue went from $1 million to $6 million, and they became profitable.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Operating where now?
3 countries, Lebanon, Jordan, and Egypt. And their media side is still huge. Lulia's got 2 million YouTube subscribers.
Wow.
Sohadi, 10 million followers on social media. Unusa, 17 million.
Incredible reach. And that initial geographic focus, Lebanon and Jordan?
Yeah.
That was strategic too, right?
Yeah. They chose markets with slightly less competition initially in beauty e-commerce. It let them grab significant market share early on.
Like 30-40% in Lebanon, maybe 10-15% in Jordan?
Roughly those estimates, yeah. It gave them that first mover advantage, let them build scale without going head-to-head immediately with the biggest regional players. Smart entry strategy.
Okay, so they weathered the storm, unified, grown.
Yeah.
What about the future? How are they staying ahead?
They've really made innovation central, as e-commerce became like 95% of the revenue.
Wow, almost everything.
Yeah, the content teams didn't disappear. They pivoted again. Their job became innovating, testing new media formats, all to support the e-commerce side.
Can you give an example?
Sure. They were among the very first in Lebanon to experiment with the metaverse, and they implemented virtual try-on tech, augmented reality with L'Oreal.
So really pushing the boundaries.
Absolutely. Wasim talks about this culture of experimentation. They try not to miss anything. And now they're leveraging all that data they've collected.
It's on tent.
Exactly. Think about it. Over 4,000 makeup tutorials on Lulia. 20,000 skincare consultations between pharmacists and customers on Sohadi.
That's a ton of data.
A treasure trove. And they're using it to build their own proprietary AI cosmetics agent.
An AI agent, what will that do?
The idea is to move beyond just selling products. It's about hyper-personalized recommendations, real guidance.
That sounds like a serious differentiator. So what's the next big step for Parallel using this tech?
The next big frontier is Saudi Arabia, KSA.
Huge market. Very competitive, though.
Extremely. And Wasim knows that. He believes that to make a mark there, they can't just be another e-commerce site. They need something truly disruptive.
Powered by the AI.
That's the plan. The vision is seamless. You scan your face once, the AI gives you personalized beauty and skincare recommendations, and then one click, the whole routine is in your cart.
That sounds incredibly convenient.
That's the goal. They're timing their entry, banking on the AI maturing right as they launch in KSA. It's a long-term vision.
And that vision, plus their track record, That's why IM funding is investing again. A third time.
Exactly. It's a strong signal of belief in where they're headed and their ability to execute, even against huge challenges.
This whole story of parallel health and beauty holding, it, it just powerfully underscores how agility, spotting opportunities, and real discipline can turn massive challenges into, well, unprecedented growth.
It really
It's
does.
a strong reminder, isn't it? Sometimes the biggest disruptions, they create the biggest opportunities, especially if you have that audience connection, that willingness to keep innovating.
And the resilience to make those tough calls, like the merger.
Absolutely. What really stands out to you from this story? What lessons might you take away for your own work? Something to think about. For more stories like this, subscribe to Bayonat's newsletter and stay updated on the latest in MENA's tech and startup ecosystem.